So good morning, everyone. So today we are going to discuss the last three compound: boron trifluoride, aluminum chloride, and alum, potash alum. Okay. So we finished up to diborane. Okay. So today the first compound is boron trifluoride. So boron trifluoride is a colorless gaseous substance. Okay, colorless. That is pungent smell, colorless, toxic gas. Pungent smell, colorless, toxic gas. So it is a compound of boron. It is a Lewis acid. Boron trifluoride is Lewis acid. Okay. So preparation, properties, uses of boron trifluoride. The first one is preparation. Prepared from boron trioxide. So this one is the appearance of boron trioxide. So boron trioxide reacts with the calcium fluoride. So this one is the appearance of calcium fluoride. This one is appearance of calcium fluoride. So boron trioxide treated with the calcium fluoride in the presence of sulfuric acid. So which gives boron trifluoride, calcium sulfate, and water. Okay, so 1 mole of boron trioxide and 3 moles of calcium fluoride in the presence of 3 moles of sulfuric acid, which gives 2 moles of boron trifluoride, 3 moles of calcium sulfate, 3 moles of water. The second method is boron trioxide reacts with the carbon in the presence of fluorine. Okay, this carbon reduces boron oxide into boron. That boron reacts with fluorine gives boron trifluoride. So carbon combined with oxygen gives carbon monoxide. Okay, so this one is the second method. Boron trioxide reacts with the carbon in the presence of fluorine, which gives boron trifluoride. The next one is the benzene diazonium tetrafluoroborate. Okay, so the benzene diazonium tetrafluoroborate undergoes thermal decomposition. Which gives boron trifluoride, phenyl fluoride, and nitrogen. So phenyl we can represent it as pH, or you can write C6H5N2BF4. Okay, so benzene diazonium tetrafluoroborate. Okay, which is thermal decomposition gives boron trifluoride, phenyl fluoride, and nitrogen. So preparation from boron trioxide and benzene diazonium tetrafluoroborate. The next one is properties of boron trifluoride. So action of Lewis base hydrolysis. Okay, so boron trifluoride has a planar geometry. It is an electron deficient compound which can accept the electron pair from Lewis base and form coordinate covalent bond. So for example, boron trifluoride reacts with ammonia, combined with the ammonia, which gives boron trifluoride ammoniate. Okay, so this compound form the type BX4, complex compound. So boron trifluoride, this one is second example, boron trifluoride combined with water, which gives aqua boron trifluoride. The second one is hydrolysis. So boron trifluoride undergoes hydrolysis. First it gives boric acid, H3BO3. This boric acid further reaction gives fluoroboric acid. Okay, so this is the overall reaction. In the first step, 4 moles of boron trifluoride reacts with the 12 moles of water, which gives 4 moles of boric acid, 12 moles of HF, hydrogen fluoride. So this first product undergoes further reaction, gives tetrafluoroboric acid, or you can say fluoroboric acid. What is the formula? HBF4. Okay, so this is an ionic state, 3H plus 3BF4 minus. This one is ionic state. In the molecular state, it is called as HBF4, tetrafluoroboric acid. Okay. The next one is uses of boron trifluoride. So boron trifluoride used for preparing tetrafluoroboric acid, which act as a catalyst in organic chemistry. Okay, it is also used as a fluorinating agent. It is also used as a fluorinating agent. Okay, so first we finish boron trifluoride, preparation, properties, and the uses. The next one is aluminum chloride. So the anhydrous aluminum chloride is a colorless substance, crystalline substance. So this yellow color is a polyaluminum chloride compound. Okay, this one is anhydrous aluminum chloride. This one is polyaluminum chloride. So in the market, there are two types of aluminum chloride: anhydrous aluminum chloride, polyaluminum chloride. So preparation, properties, uses. The next one is preparation. It can be obtained from aluminum hydroxide when it reacts with the hydrochloric acid, so which gives aluminum chloride. So aluminum is more electropositive than hydrogen, so displays acid hydrogen, which gives aluminum chloride and liberate hydrogen gas. Okay, aluminum hydroxide reacts with the hydrochloric acid. So aluminum hydroxide is a base. Okay, hydrochloric acid. So neutralization reaction take place, which gives aluminum chloride and water. Okay, so this one is acid displacement. This one is neutralization reaction. Okay, so McPhee process. So in the McPhee process, aluminum oxide reduced by carbon in the presence of chlorine, which gives aluminum chloride and carbon dioxide. Okay, so the same type of reaction we have seen here. So boron trioxide, carbon, fluorine, which gives boron trifluoride and carbon monoxide. Here, aluminum oxide reacts with carbon in the presence of chlorine, gives aluminum chloride and carbon dioxide. Okay, then on industrial scale, we can prepare direct combination of aluminum and chlorine, which gives aluminum chloride at the temperature of 1000 Kelvin. Okay, right. The next one is properties of aluminum chloride. Aluminum chloride react with water, weak base ammonium hydroxide, and a strong base, okay, sodium hydroxide. Then aluminum chloride is Lewis acid, so which can combine with the Lewis base. The first one is reaction with water. Aluminum chloride dissolve in water, so which gives acidic nature. Why? Due to the formation of the strong acid, hydrochloric acid. Okay, so this hydrogen chloride fumes in moist air. So HCl in the gaseous state, it is called as hydrogen chloride. In the aqueous state, it is called as hydrochloric acid. Then reaction with ammonium hydroxide. So ammonium hydroxide is a weak base. So it reacts with aluminum chloride, which gives aluminum hydroxide and ammonium chloride. Okay, so here only the substitution take place. The OH minus, which is substitute Cl minus from aluminum chloride. So which gives aluminum hydroxide and ammonium chloride. But instead of our weak base, if we take strong base, then the reaction mechanism is different. So the product is sodium meta-aluminate. Okay, so aluminum chloride reacts with a sodium hydroxide. So which gives sodium meta-aluminate. Aluminum chloride reacts with a strong base, which gives sodium meta-aluminate, NaAlO2. So this is the appearance of sodium meta-aluminate. Then reaction with the Lewis base. So aluminum chloride is a Lewis acid, so which can combine with a Lewis base and form addition compound. Reaction with the ammonia, phosphine, carbonyl chloride. So these are example for Lewis base. So what is Lewis base? The compound which can donate pair of electron is called Lewis base. So here, for example, aluminum chloride reacts with ammonia, which gives addition product. So uses of aluminum chloride. So anhydrous aluminum chloride is used as catalyst. Anhydrous aluminum chloride used as catalyst in the Friedel-Crafts reaction. So last year we discussed the Friedel-Crafts reaction. Friedel-Crafts are alkylation, Friedel-Crafts acylation, Friedel-Crafts benzoylation. Okay, so catalyst is a anhydrous aluminum chloride, and that means which can act as a halogen carrier here. Okay, anhydrous aluminum chloride. Okay. So it is used for the manufacture of petrol by cracking the mineral acid. Okay. So it is used as catalyst in the manufacture of dye, drugs, and perfumes. Okay. So the second compound, aluminum chloride. So aluminum chloride, anhydrous aluminum chloride, polyaluminum chloride, prepared from aluminum, aluminum hydroxide, aluminum oxide, aluminum. So aluminum reacts with the hydrochloric acid, aluminum reacts with the chlorine here. So reaction with the properties, okay, that is properties of okay, aluminum chloride, reaction with the water, reaction with ammonium hydroxide, reaction with sodium hydroxide, reaction with the Lewis base. So this one is reaction with water. This one is reaction with ammonium hydroxide, weak base. This one is reaction with the sodium hydroxide, strong base. So this is the appearance of sodium meta-aluminate. Then reaction with the Lewis base. The last one is uses of aluminum chloride. Okay. The third compound is okay, potash alum. Simply we can say that alum. Okay. So இது வந்து நம்ம வீட்ல பார்க்கக்கூடிய ஒரு காம்பவுண்ட் இது. Okay. So வீட்ல வந்து படிகாரம் அப்படினு சொல்லுவாங்க. சரியா? வீட்ல யூஸ் பண்ணக்கூடிய மெட்டீரியல் படிகாரம் அப்படினு. சரியா? So இது எங்க யூஸ் பண்ணுவாங்க அப்படினா இப்ப முனிசிபல் வாட்டர் வந்து ரொம்ப டர்ட்டியா இருக்குது அப்படினா ஓகே இந்த படிகாரத்தை என்ன பண்ணணும் அப்படினா அந்த முனிசிபல் வாட்டர்ல வந்து கிளாக் வைஸ்ல ஒரு 2 டர்ன் ஆன்டி கிளாக் வைஸ்ல ஒரு 2 டர்ன் பண்ணிக்கணும். காலையில எந்திரிச்சு பார்த்தாச்சு அப்படின்னா அந்த டஸ்ட் ஃபுல்லாவே என்ன ஆயிரும் அப்படின்னா கீழே செட்டில் ஆயிரும். அதனால அந்த படிகாரத்தை நம்ம எதுக்கு யூஸ் பண்றோம் அப்படின்னா ஓகே அந்த வாட்டரை வந்து பியூரிஃபை பண்றதுக்காண்டி யூஸ் பண்றோம். இது வந்து ஓகே கெமிக்கலா இட் இஸ் கால்ட் அஸ் பொட்டாஷ் ஆலும். So K2SO4 Al2SO4 thrice 24H2O. So it is example for double salt. But K2SO4 அப்படின்னா only simple salt. Aluminum sulfate only simple salt. So these two simple salt combine and form double salt. So potassium aluminum sulfate. So general formula M dash 2SO4 M double dash 2SO4 thrice 24H2O. So M dash அப்படிங்கிறது வந்து univalent metal ion. So metal ion with okay only one positive charge. The M double dash okay trivalent metal ion. Okay, trivalent metal ion means the metal ion with okay 3 plus state. That is called trivalent metal ion. Okay, so 24H2O it is called as water of crystallization. Okay, so example potash alum K2SO4 Al2SO4 thrice 24H2O. Sodium alum Na2SO4 Al2SO4 thrice 24H2O. Ammonium alum NH4 twice SO4 Al2SO4 thrice 24H2O. Chrome alum K2SO4 Cr2SO4 thrice 24H2O. Okay, so example for double salt. Okay, so generally alums are more soluble in hot water than cold water. When it dissolves in water, which gives the constituent ions like simple salt. So simple salt dissociate in water like that. Okay, potash alum also okay dissociate into the simple ions in water. So preparation, properties, and the uses. Okay, so it can be obtained from alunite. So alunite, this one is the appearance of alum stone. So alum stone or alunite, this is the appearance of alum stone. So the chemical composition K2SO4 Al2SO4 thrice 4AlOH thrice. Okay, so what is the difference between potash alum and alunite? Only AlOH thrice is different. Okay, in potash alum there is no AlOH thrice, but in alunite the presence of AlOH thrice. Okay, so this alunite powdered well and treated with excess of sulfuric acid. So sulfuric acid used to convert aluminum hydroxide into aluminum sulfate. Okay, so you can see the reaction K2SO4 Al2SO4 thrice 4AlOH thrice. So this one is alunite treated with sulfuric acid, which gives okay K2SO4 Al2SO4 thrice plus 12H2O. Okay, what happened here? this sulfuric acid convert aluminum hydroxide into aluminum sulfate. And then small quantity of potassium sulfate is added to initiate the crystallization process. The water of crystallization take place. That means water molecule added with the salt. Okay, so the compound is called potash alum in the crystalline state. K2SO4, Al2SO4 thrice 24H2O. Okay, so first in the solution, okay, it appears as a simple compound, but during the formation of crystallization, this simple compound combined together with the water and form double salt. So preparation of potash alum from alunite. Then chemical properties: action of water, action of heat, action of ammonium hydroxide. First, action of water. So potash alum is a white crystalline solid. It is soluble in water, but insoluble in alcohol. Insoluble in alcohol. Okay. So here the aqueous solution is acidic nature, like aluminum chloride. The aqueous solution of aluminum chloride is acidic nature. Like that, the aqueous solution of potash alum also acidic in nature due to hydrolysis of aluminum sulfate. So aluminum sulfate undergoes hydrolysis. Okay. So due to hydrolysis, the solution becomes acidic in nature. The next one is action of heat. Okay. So potash alum, first on heating at the temperature of 365 Kelvin, the melting take place. So the process is called melting process. So after melting, further, okay, if you heat the molten state, okay, at the temperature of 473 Kelvin, it loses water of hydration. The swollen mass is obtained. Why does mass become swelling? Okay, the reason is the water vapor evolved. So due to evaporation of water, okay, the swelling up takes place. The swollen mass is called as burnt alum. The swollen mass is called as burnt alum. On further heating, the decomposition takes place, which is decomposed into potassium sulfate and aluminum sulfate. This aluminum sulfate further decomposed into aluminum oxide and sulfur trioxide. So on heating, under three conditions, three processes take place. At 365 Kelvin, melting process take place. 475 Kelvin, dehydration take place. Red hot decomposition take place. So action of heat. The next one is reaction with the ammonium hydroxide. So potash alum reacts with ammonium hydroxide, so which gives, okay, aluminum hydroxide. So ammonium hydroxide become aluminum hydroxide. How? Okay, the potassium sulfate and aluminum sulfate reacts with the ammonium hydroxide. It gives potassium sulfate, ammonium sulfate, water, and aluminum hydroxide. Okay, so this OH minus goes here, and then this sulfate comes here. Okay, so the aluminum sulfate become aluminum hydroxide, ammonium hydroxide become ammonium sulfate. So reaction with the ammonium hydroxide. The next one is, okay, uses of potash alum. So it is used for purification of water. Okay, then it is used for waterproofing and textiles. Then it is used in dyeing, paper, and leather tanning industries. So it is used as a, okay, styptic agent to arrest bleeding. So styptic agent means the coagulating agent. Okay, so blood is a colloidal nature. Okay, so if you want to coagulate, the excess of electrolyte must be added. Okay, so here potash alum act as a electrolyte in the coagulating blood. Okay, so that action is called as styptic action. Okay, the substance is called as styptic agent. Okay, so this one is important uses of potash alum. Okay, so today we finished boron family. So group 13 is called as boron group. Okay, in that boron group, we have seen appearance, physical properties, chemical properties of boron, and the compounds of boron in that borax, boric acid, diborane, boron trifluoride, aluminum chloride, and alums. Okay, So this one is boron trifluoride. Preparation, properties of boron trifluoride, action of Lewis base, hydrolysis, use of boron trifluoride, aluminum chloride, preparation, properties, reaction with water, reaction with ammonium hydroxide, reaction with sodium hydroxide, excess of sodium hydroxide, reaction with the Lewis base, then use of aluminum chloride, then potash alum, examples of double salt, preparation from alunite, action of water, action of heat, action of ammonium hydroxide, uses of alum. Okay, so today we finished 13th group, boron group. Thank you, students. I hope you understand the concept. Keep learning. Stay reactive.